This is my buddy Floater. Floater asked me to make a video for him about flow state. So I spent hours combing through research and data about flow states, and I've come to the conclusion that chasing a flow state won't actually make you more productive. In fact, I think flow states in general are wildly overrated. Floater gave me these 2 goals to solve by the end of the video. 1 is go full remote workday without checking his phone, and 2 is to have a party or a night out without holding back on a comment or anything like that because he's self-conscious. So Floater, I've found a bunch of real data, and I've found a way to definitely help you accomplish these 2 goals. And if you're an overthinker like Floater who wants to be less self-conscious in social settings, or if you want to understand why I think chasing flow states is mostly nonsense, then stick around and subscribe, because I'm making a new one of these every week. Let's start by defining flow. A flow state is when you feel like you can work forever. You don't notice time passing, you're not distracted, you just get shit done. Since Floater has goals for both productivity and social life, we're going to apply the idea of flow to both situations and break down those ideas. And I know I said that flow states are nonsense, and I hold that. But in order for you to understand why I think that, I have to show you what flow would look like for Floater. A psychologist named Csikszentmihalyi has done a ton of work on flow states, and he outlined 9 characteristics of a flow state, 9 things that happen during flow, right? And using these, we can reverse engineer how to get you into flow states easier, both in a work and a social setting. So the first is challenge skill balance. Mihaly says that you can only achieve flow when you're doing something that will challenge you, but that you also have the skills to accomplish, challenging but doable. Second is merging action and awareness. When in a flow state, the only thing you're aware of is the work and nothing else. Third is have a clear goal and work toward it. Fourth, kind of on the back of that, is unambiguous feedback or clear feedback. Clear goals give you clear feedback. Are my actions right now helping me towards the goal? Yes or no? Flow happens when every single action is towards that goal. Fifth is total concentration, which kind of feels similar to number 2, just total focus on the work and nothing else. 6 is a sense of control. Flow happens when you aren't fully in control. It's like a rock climber climbing some really hard route. The difficulty means he might fall, and that increases flow. This is similar to number 1 with the challenge and the skill kind of being balanced. 7 is a loss of consciousness. During flow, you shouldn't have enough brain power left over to worry about what other people are doing and what other people are thinking of you. 8 is a transformation of time. Basically, when you achieve flow, the time moves at the speed of the work you're doing, not at the speed of the clock. And then 9 is this thing that Mihaly calls an autotelic experience. That's the feeling of flow. It's the feeling when everything comes together. In Greek, auto is self and telos is goal. So autotelic is like motivation from yourself. And we can use these 9 things to create an environment where flow is easily achieved. First is completely remove distractions. That includes clocks, and that's going to take care of numbers 2, 5, and 8. You can also choose tasks that you can actually accomplish, but that you know will be challenging for you. And that'll check off 1, 6, and 7. And then finally, you can set clear goals and work towards them. And that's going to check off numbers 3 and 4. All of those combined will ideally help you create number 9, the flow or the autotelic experience. So according to Mihaly, if you create an environment without distractions, with clear goals and purpose behind those goals, and a task that is interesting and also doable, then you will have a higher chance of achieving flow state. And I could end the video right here. I could be like all those bullshit Instagram gurus. Use these 9 hacks to achieve a flow state. But then I would be lying. And I don't want to do that. Because in reality, you can create the perfect environment for the flow state. But eventually, once the distractions are gone and the goals are written down, the work just needs doing. And what happens when you're at work and you can't pick the tasks, or you have to do something that you hate and isn't challenging? You think I liked making all these little icons? I suck at art, dude. It was terrible. I had 0 flow while making them, but look, they all got done. If we look back on these flow characteristics, there's one thing that can help you achieve all 9 of them, but it will take time and it is not sexy. And that thing is discipline, which I'm defining as doing a thing instead of a distraction. It takes discipline to practice and improve at something you suck at. It takes discipline to avoid distractions. It takes discipline to set a goal, and it takes discipline to spend the entire work session on that goal every time you go to work. Eventually, dude, the work just needs doing because it takes discipline to achieve flow. And I don't want to come off as condescending here. Make no mistake, I lack discipline. I was supposed to record this video yesterday, but instead, I watched 4 hours of Love Island. I'm not telling you this as if I'm some perfect example. I'm telling you this because it's what data showed. And speaking of data and research, you're probably wondering, well, how do I become more disciplined then? And boy, I'm glad you asked. Discipline, it turns out, is positively predicted by autonomous motivation. It's that feeling that you get when you work on something because you want to do it, not because someone tells you to do it. Autonomous motivation, in turn, is positively predicted by a few things. The first is a person's psychological needs, and in this case, there are 3. The first is autonomy, or the opportunity to choose what you're working on. The second is competence, which is just your ability to do the thing. And third is relatedness. Are there people working with you or cheering for you or anything like that? So that's psychological needs. Motivation is also positively predicted by a thing called task-oriented climate. That's where you judge yourself based on your own work and your own improvement rather than comparing yourself to others. So according to this data, if you want to be more disciplined, choose the right goal, practice your skills, find people to support you. Floater, you literally have my phone number. You can text me. I need support and I will support you. And only judge yourself based on your own improvements, not the actions or improvements of others. And even if you can't get all of these, like if you can't pick your job, getting as many as possible can improve discipline. And Floater, I think this is where you're getting it wrong. You think that once you achieve a flow state, then you will be productive. Then you'll hang out without being self-conscious. You think the flow state is what helps you achieve those rewards, but you have it backwards. The flow state is the reward. You told me that you feel the most in flow when you play basketball. I also happen to know that when you were a kid, your dad had you shooting threes in the dark to practice getting better. Do you think it's an accident that the thing you've practiced a ton is where you most easily find flow? I mean, look at the graph. This is you in basketball. Awesome. But here's you in other situations. You're probably near anxiety, and you might be thinking, well, if I pick an easier goal, then I can achieve flow easier. But no, an easier goal would only get you to apathy or maybe boredom. The only way to get to flow is to increase your skills, which takes practice. You just have to do the work without being in flow. I mean, look at your goals, dude. You wanted to go an entire remote workday without checking your phone. Here's how I'd solve that. At the beginning of the workday, take my phone, put it in some hard-to-reach cabinet, don't check it until the end of the workday. Bam! You don't need a flow state for that. You just have to do it. You also wanted to hang out with people and not feel self-conscious when you speak your mind. Ready for this one? Next time you're in a group setting, just speak your mind. No one's going to stop being friends with you because a joke didn't land. Again, you don't need to be in a flow state. You just have to do it. The good news for you, dude, is that you are more than capable of doing hard work. So now we just have to go back to what we know you're already capable of. It's easy to say, it's hard to stick with, but that's what it takes to improve anything. Good luck, man. And if anyone else got something out of this video, then good luck to you too. You got this. And also, after this stupid heat wave is over, let's definitely get a big old basketball game going because it's been a minute and we can definitely get like a really solid squad out for like an early Sunday or something. We haven't done that in a minute.